Welcome to the Cluttered Corner. I'm Chelsea, and today I am putting together this reading journal. This is my first reading journal and my first real foray into like doing my own bullet journal setup from nothing. I watched some videos that people did, or I've seen them, but I didn't want to like put too much pressure on it, so I kind of just went ahead with it because I'm not real good at planning that, and especially not when when I haven't done it before and I don't really know what I need. So this is my first time doing it. It's my first year keeping one, and it's a reading journal, but I'm gonna put whatever I want in it. So this is this journal I got in the Archer and Olive March subscription box. It's beautiful. It's got some deckled edges, which I thought would be really fun for a reading journal, and it's got kind of this gardeny theme. So so let's dive in. Okay, so here I printed out a bunch of stuff from Canva. I'll put a link to that. I have like the Pro edition, so some of these are probably still going to be like blocked by that. But you can get a free trial if you want. But I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about that when I did it. But like, I just put together like, and I mean you can just make your own things too. They have a lot of just cool images and stuff. And I printed out a bunch of these in different sizes. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I didn't end up using most of those. So this was my first time making a reading journal, and actually making anything in a bullet journal that's like not just random collages and stuff. So I wasn't sure what I was going to need. And then it took forever to cut them out. I probably should have cut them out off camera, but whatever. It's also kind of fun just watching other people do tedious work, like cut things out, but really fast like this, because then you're just like, oh, it's kind of satisfying, like Power Wash Simulator, but not. I didn't end up using like any of these bridges, spoiler alert, but I like how they looked. And the colors that I had used in these pictures, like I ended up using as part of the monthly like printouts that I did. So I feel like it added to the overall theme, even if I didn't end up using all of them. I really liked these ones, these flowers. And I had just told it on Canva like to do an A5 size. So each page was like A5. I printed this out on A4 paper because that's what I have, but you can just tell it A5 and then you know what you're working with if that's the size of your journal. Obviously, if you're using a different size journal, pick that size. And then these are just some lavender pictures. I flipped some of them so that they could go the other way because I thought, well, I don't know what side I'm going to want them to be on. And I think that was helpful. And the books one, the bookshelf, I left it blank for now, but I'll probably color it in as I like read stuff. Like, I probably won't try and write the titles on it. That seems too small. But I might try and like color it with just vaguely like, this was, I read a book that was purple, so I'm coloring it purple, like that. I really like this 2025, like the part that says 2025 reading journal. I really like how that came out. I mean, I didn't, it seems silly to say like, oh yeah, I made that. I did, but I mean, Canva makes it like, it's mostly, I just like slap some stuff together, and here, so I had watched, I don't know how to pronounce her channel name. Whenever I hear people talk about her, they just call her Jess, but her channel name is WASHI. I'll link to it. She does a lot of cool bullet journaling spreads and stuff, and I watched one where she did a really cool reading journal spread, and I was kind of trying to do that with like the side bars there, but like what she had done, but I didn't really. I was really messy with it, and it didn't really, I don't know, I kind of forgot about it after this page. I forgot I was doing that. So, and these are the bee stamps that I got from Archer and Olive with the matching journal, which I'm not using for this, but then, oh, this washi tape I'm using now, that came in the subscription box, the March subscription box, with this journal that I'm using. So I'm going for kind of like a flowery theme, like a kind of a reading garden theme, because this journal is kind of gardeny themed. but also I think makes a good reading journal, and I think it'll be good for that. I like the deckled edges. I think that reminds me of like old books that I used to have like as a kid. They weren't they weren't children's books. There would just be more books that had deckled edges, I guess, when I was a kid, a million years ago, and those books were already a million years old. And at the time, it really bothered me that they did, because it felt sloppy. Like, these people couldn't even bother to trim the edges of these pages, and they think that this book is, like, done, you know? Like, it just really bothered me. Now I don't feel like that. It seems silly for, like, a kid to be feeling like that, but that is how I felt. And this is an acrylograph that also came with the subscription, and so did this ruler. The clear ruler that I'm using there. I liked it better than that gold ruler I was using, because this one has, well, it's a bit thicker, but it also has a non-slip on the bottom. Like, the part that's like those white leaves is like a non-slip part. And I am not like a careful drawer of lines, let's say. So even though I'm using a ruler, and even though this is a bullet journal and it's got like guidelines, you know, these are not going to be like good lines. So hopefully that's not a requirement. I mean, it's not for me, but you know, if you want to see somebody who does careful lines in their bullet journal, this is not the place to be. I was also having a lot of trouble with these stamps. It's not their fault, I don't think. I am still kind of learning how to use the acrylic stamps, and sometimes I don't get the middles very well. And then also, I kept forgetting that, well, I don't know what I was forgetting, because I haven't really used it that much, but like, the stamps don't dry as fast as like when I'm using just like my pens. So I ended up smearing them a lot. And, you know, it's a lot of ink. So, you know, all these thick washies that I'm using, like, they all came in the the March subscription box. And they're kind of nice for a reading journal. And I made, so this will be the title and page number. I don't usually do indexes, but I've seen other people do them in their journals, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, if I don't do it and I don't leave room for it, I can't change my mind later, really. I mean, I guess I can put it at the end, but that's weird. Because it's more of a contents page than an index, I guess. But, well, maybe the difference is an index. You would theoretically do it like, oh, I got kind of mad at my acrylograph because it wasn't primed right. I haven't used it in a long time, and I kind of pressed too hard, and then it bled all over, and then I felt bad. Sorry, acrylograph. It's not your fault. It worked fine after that, mostly. Well, I still had some issues, but that was definitely on me. So anyway, I think an index, you would alphabetize it so that you can look things up by the object you're looking at, not just where it is. But I don't know how to alphabetize this before I've read everything. And this isn't just going to be for reading, it's going to be for like TV shows and movies and games and just basically all media that I'm consuming. So I have no idea. Like, so I'm just going to do it by page number, which means I'll also have to put page numbers on these. I thought about how I wanted to do that, and I thought, well, maybe I should, like, you know, do stamps. But also, I didn't really leave room for that on most of these pages, so I might just write it in. Also, trying to stamp that many pages, I don't know. We'll see. I didn't add page numbers, I guess is what I'm saying. But I got to think how I want to do that. I got to decide if I want to do that with some stamps so it's all uniform, or if I just want it in my messy handwriting. So I really like how this came out. I got these like corner stamps. They were just in a big set from Amazon. I don't remember if it was a review item or not, but I'll link to it. They're a really good set of stamps. I might have bought them. I don't remember. I would buy them. I like them. That you get like a whole bunch of these different like floral stamps and like corners, and not all of it's floral. Like this one's obviously not floral, but I don't know. It's just it's a big set, and it's really nice. Like there's just a lot of variety. So here I decided to leave room for ratings. So I'll list out like books, and this will include audiobooks. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, definitely more than I read like word books. I don't know what to call them. Non-audiobooks. Or like graphic novels could go in here. Picture books. I do read picture books. Um, and I write picture books. And then like I told my parents like, oh, I wrote a picture book. And then they're like, how do you write a picture book? I'm like, you used to read me picture books. Anyway, so I left like 7 boxes for the rating. So theoretically it'd be like out of 5 stars. I hope that's enough space. I did not want to write or like draw 1,000,000 stars right now, and I want to find like a stencil for it, or maybe just like if there's like a stamp, like a reading journal stamp that's got like, you know, a preset thing of like open stars that you could stamp down and then fill out. So I got to find that, see what I can do. I might already have something. I don't think I do though. So I left that blank. That's future Chelsea's problem. That's not my problem. And this is a Sakura fine liner. It's a number 2, and it was less hit and miss than the acrylograph. It was easy to use, but it didn't have that nice green color that kind of brings out the sort of creaminess of the page color, if that makes sense. Oh, see, yeah, those are my stamps. Those are my corner stamps. And there's like little butterflies in there and little flowers. I don't know. It's a really nice garden and, I don't know, fancy corners thing. I would like if there was like, there's not any like non-corners, but I want to get like a set that's got more like, I don't know, maybe dividers or just like middle pieces that aren't corners. Because I don't really have anything like that. And then here, so I'm not sure how many books I'll get through in the year. I want to say, like 5, I don't know. But if it's including everything like audiobooks and, you know, everything. I mean, I could definitely read 5 picture books. So like, you know, I should leave more room for that. So that's why I did an extra page. I did a little bit extra on all of these. And if I run out of space to list things for some reason, I guess I just won't list them, or I'll add in a tip in or something. I've never done that. I bet that would look real messy when I was done with it, but I'm not afraid. I'll do a tip in. We'll see. In this part, this was before I was leaving like an extra page between like where the books and stuff were, like just so I could have that. But I went back later and added more. I think I was just tired of doing the lines. And then here, put that there. I always forget to use stamps in my stuff. And also I was just like wiping them off with this rag. That is not, I mean, that's like half-ass cleaning them. You know, like clean them like full ass if you can. But like, they are, I don't know, they can get dirty and then they get damaged and stuff. And theoretically they'll work better if you don't. I haven't had my stamps long enough to know how this is affecting them or not. But usually, well, I don't know. Like cleaning them I feel like is a big deal. And then also I feel like I have to keep track of which ones I took off of the thing and where they go. And I get real stressed about it. So in order to be able to actually use the stamps, I was just like, whatever. So I wiped them off at least, tried to get some of the ink off of them. And I called that good for now. But you can use like rubbing alcohol will work. I also have some like official, I don't know, stamp cleaner that you're supposed to put on them and then you like let it sit for a minute and then you like clean it off and like wash them. And that one's a bit more involved, but it does also work. And so here, I watch a lot of shows, but you know, a lot of shows also like they take up, or you know, if you watch something that's like 7 seasons, that's a lot of show, but it's only one listing. You know, why am I doing... oh, this is where I was adding in more index page. Yeah, I went back because I had left this blank to put in more index page if I needed it. And then I was like, I don't want blank pages. I want to just, like do this. This was like a different day when I was like, yeah, I'll do more lines. Oh, this does definitely get tedious. And I could have been more careful with it. I think also if I had more space, a cluttered corner is cluttered and cramped. And there's not a lot of room to work. So I think if I had more space and maybe also if I wasn't filming, I don't know. Like, because I theoretically should be like turning the paper and that might make it easier to get like the ruler in place. But, I was struggling a bit with the acrylograph on this page. Not the page before, it was fine. And then this one, it kept being kind of spotty. And I don't know, like I kept having to go over the lines, but then sometimes it was too much. And then, I don't know. So it was kind of a mess on that page, but that's okay. I mean, I might not even get to that page. We'll see how much media I consume. I'm curious to see how much media I fill up on this, because this would be like everything in the index, like movies, TV shows, games, books, everything. Podcasts. I don't know really how to document the podcast, because most of the podcasts I listen to are ongoing. So then it's like, oh, well, I listened to an episode of Freedom. Like, that's not really how I want to, like, document it. It would be more like, here's one I was listening to a lot, or I discovered, or something. Also, shout out to Freedom. Freedom is the best podcast. If you don't know what it is, it's three friends, Paul F. Tompkins, Lauren Lapkus, and Scott Ackerman, and they basically just talk for like an hour, and it's really fun. So, my favorite podcasts are basically just some friends talking. That's all I need. I really love this yellow and how it looks with the green. Not the title green, but like the green of the acrylograph. The title green looks good too. It looks a little bit bright here on the camera, but it's more of a minty, subdued green in real life. You can see that my key stamps got all smeared. And here I am putting some beautiful washi tape on here. Oh, it looks good. Very spring. And I mean, I'm going to start using this journal now because I don't currently have a reading journal, but this is meant for 2025 in general. So, well, by the time I get to this page, it might not be spring. I don't know, but it's still nice. Still nice. Maybe I'll use this up like super fast and I'll be like, oh my God, you guys, I got to make another one. Maybe this is a quarterly reading journal. I have no idea. Currently, I love doing this. I love these dot markers. I just have like this set, like one set of dot markers. The Kuretake Zig, it's like clean something. I don't know. Anyway, I love them. I just have the one set. There's only so many colors, and that's all I have to choose from, and I don't want to overwhelm myself with more. And whenever I feel like something needs something, I can just add some dots, and I think it looks great. And you can add multiple colors, and they can be various sizes, and but they're real juicy, so you gotta be careful what paper you put them on. Anyway, maybe I consume so much media that I'll need more than one journal. I don't know. I've currently been writing down like what I consume like each month, like divided up, and it's interesting, but I also feel like, I don't know, it's going to be more fun to have it, I think, in one place. I mean, it is in one place because it's in one planner, but it's like scattered. And this will be a bit more organized, and also just a place to put like, I don't know, collages about shows that I like, which I currently just put in random stuff. Well, these are my stickers. Now, thank you so much to the person who told me how to peel PET stickers. They said to try using the pads of my fingers or my thumbs, and I'm still struggling a bit. This second half here I had trouble with, but I'm getting the hang of it, and it's making a huge difference in my PET stickers. I'm no longer like, I don't want to use those. I can actually peel them, and as I'm like, having more success with it, I'm like figuring out how to do it and what works, and that's probably saved so many hours of my life. I don't even want to know how many hours. It's like this thing I was talking about before where one of my podcast apps told me how much time I'd skipped over like the year. So basically it was like, you skipped 22 hours of stuff in the podcast. And what I'm skipping is commercials. And I'm like, 22 hours of stuff that I skipped. And that was like not even the full year because I hadn't started using it the whole year. So I feel like that was a real eye-opener in some ways. Now, these went on okay, these stamps, and then I smeared them. Of course I did. I could not remember to let them dry. Also, this is not, because normally I'm using watercolor paper, and this is not watercolor paper. So maybe it's just a different kind of absorbency. But I'm also not usually using, well, I don't know, because the ink that I use in, like, my brush pen, that's a lot of ink. And it still dries fairly quickly. But this is a different ink, different paper, different purpose, sort of. And, yeah, I kept smearing it. So I colored it in, because I thought maybe that would help. And it did help. And I think it looks good. It also adds a nice splash of color. And those are part of the bee-themed one. And it kind of, I don't know, adds some thoughts of honey to it, I guess. And I really like how this page turned out. And just, I don't know, the kind of gardeny, vintage garden sort of look to it. And then added in these stripes. My rectangles were a little bit too wide to just do across once. Now, if I had managed to keep it like 1 square tall or something, then they probably would have fit. But they didn't, so I had to go over them a couple times. Or else not have the marker be over the whole thing, and I couldn't do that. Couldn't handle it. So, but that's okay. It can be uneven. Oh. I managed to like line up that stamp second time. Now, I have an easier time putting stamps on the right hand page because there's so much like book behind it. And then on the left side, I was having a lot of trouble. So I was trying to remember to like press against it from the back. Oh, these stamps turned out great. I'm sure I'm going to smear them. I don't remember if I smeared these or not, but I'm pretty sure I did because I don't think I didn't smear anything. But, you know, maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. Well, okay, no, the last page of this I didn't smear because I made a big point of being like, okay, I'm done. I'm not smearing these. I'm going to let them dry. So I like walked away and left it open. Oh, look at that. Look, did you see how quick I peeled that? You didn't even see. I know this is sped up, but like normally I would be like, okay, here I am for like 5 minutes peeling this sticker, and that's on a good day, you know. So, yeah. I have really learned something. I've been learning a lot this week. And I didn't end up writing title and rating on all of these because I didn't leave room for it in the shows one, but also I think I can figure it out, you know? And if I somehow open up like this and go to like shows where I didn't write it and I'm like, what's this box for? Like, no, I'm gonna know what to put there. And if not, whatever, it's my journal, it doesn't matter. If I somehow mess up and don't remember what's supposed to go on here, that's okay. But definitely like writing out lines and stuff is not super fun. I don't know. Now on this right hand page, I got a bit of glue on it from the tape, and then I was trying to get it off, you know, and it like just, I don't know, got ink on it and it looks all bad. But it was in the middle of the boxes and I couldn't like do anything about it. And maybe you don't even know what I'm talking about, and it doesn't really show up. But I mean, it does show up. I can see it, and I'm sure you can. Now, I decided to like do just like edges with this washi tape, and it's a really fat washi tape, so I had to like cut it. And I wasn't sure about it. I haven't done anything quite like this before, but I've seen other people do similar things, and I was like, I can do it. I can do it. So I did, and I think it looks good. It's got kind of this like, I don't know what words to use. It's got kind of that like vintage, like, you know, tattered aesthetic. And here I was trying to just go across it once and see how it went, but I don't know. I couldn't do it. I had to go over it again. Oh, and here we go. We started with this stamp, and oh, look. I tried it again. And then it was blurry because I didn't do it right. And then I was like trying to cover it up, but there wasn't really anything good to cover it up with. And eventually I was like, whatever. But also I ended up smearing it. It's probably not like a big secret that I have not used a lot of stamps lately. I used to use stamps like when I was a kid. We didn't have like the acrylic kind, just like the block ones. And, well, I had one that was like, it was like a Mickey Mouse one that was like in its own ink pad, was like the lid was an ink pad, and you would like press it down and it would get into the ink, and then you'd take it out and like stamp it. That was easy to use. But other than that, I don't know. I didn't have a lot of stamps. Stamps are messy, and I don't know. I wasn't really big into messy things, and I didn't want to like, I don't know. I want to be like, oh, my parents didn't want me making a mess. And that's probably true, but also I didn't really want to make a mess. And I know kids are supposed to want to make a mess, but I feel like I didn't. And I guess that's still true to some extent, but not in the same way. I really like how that turned out too. Just that ripped, you know, like before this, I had not really used like these thick washies that much. I'd been like, these are so thick, I don't know what to do with these. But then it really gives you room to like rip them up, you know, and kind of do what you want with them. So I'm coming around to them. Yeah, you can see that flower stamp's all smeared. But this still turned out nice. And I think it looks okay in the end. You know. And I mean, the whole vibe of this journal is kind of messy, not perfect, you know. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then it doesn't really stand out if something is a bit messy, because the whole thing's a bit messy. And it doesn't mean I did it on purpose, but it is also like, yeah, it's just part of the aesthetic. It's just what this looks like. This one I really like, and I wish they'd put in more like this, because there's like, you got 4 big washi tapes in this subscription box, and one of them was this dark blue with the gold, and it's just really pretty. And then 3 of them were like, I don't know, that vintage style like letter sort of thing, and they were different ones, you know, like one's kind of gardeny, one's more like paper, but they're still kind of got that same look to them. And I would have liked if there had been like another one kind of like this in there, like this, I don't know, is this Art Deco? I'm not even sure, but like just kind of like fancy garden, I guess, instead of like the vintage paper sort of look. But I do appreciate having the vintage paper ones. So, you know. And I would have liked if there was like stickers that matched like this one. There are stickers in that subscription box, but they're not like, I mean, they're flowers and stuff, but they're not specifically like matching any of the like washi tapes or anything. But I mean, that's okay. I was really happy with that box. And then I think the June one I didn't end up getting. I was like, I don't know about that one. And then like, so I mean, I, you know, stopped my subscription. And then the September one, I was like, it was like a dark academia one, and I was like, no, that's not really my aesthetic. I want it to be, but really I'm more of a light academia person. And I was just, you know, the stuff I saw on like the preview, I was like, I don't need those. Well, I never actually looked at like what the whole thing was. And then recently, now that it's way too late, I think this was in October when I actually looked at it, I watched like an unboxing video of like the whole thing. Oh my God, I missed out. I was wrong. It was my aesthetic. There was several really cool things in that one that I was like, oh man, I wish I'd gotten that. But way too late now. Way too late. That's okay. So, moral of the story is, I don't know. Either watch the thing while you can get it, or don't ever watch it, because then you'll be missing out. And if you don't know you're missing out, then you don't feel it. But at the same time, I guess I'm glad to know that some of those items exist. Like one of them was this big key, a big antique key that was also a letter opener. Like you open it up and it's a letter opener. I love knowing that exists, even if it hurts that I don't have it. And what was the other things? There was, see, I don't even remember. I'm like, I'll have to watch those videos again. No, don't watch those again. You'll just feel sad. But there was like some journal I really wanted in it. I don't know. There was a bunch of cool stuff. Now here, I love like these door papers and any of these scrapbook papers, you know, but they're like I don't want to just have a piece of paper in the middle. So I like put tape around it, and I think that looks good. I like how it came out, and I was able to just keep that whole picture there, but like not have it be just by itself. And then this left page, I decided to put just tape all over it so that it was covered up. And I think it looks good. And the washi tape, it didn't like bunch the paper, not bunch, but you know, like sometimes when you put tape on it and it's like too tight and then the paper kind of like wants to squish up a bit. I don't know how to say it, but you know. And then I put this stamp on here and didn't really show up that well, but that's okay. I mean, it's kind of supposed to be an obtrusive like stain, you know. So I added a little bit more, and I think part of it is just that it blends in with the tape behind it. It was kind of like, oh, this is unnecessary because this is basically what's already there. I tried doing this. I've seen Erin Smith do this on her channel a lot, is color in the stamps with washi. Or not with washi, wow. Color in the stamps with Tombows. And it works kind of, but it wasn't really dark enough for like what I was doing here. But it does allow you to use like different colors that you don't necessarily like have. Because I only have black ink. I really want to get a gold ink pad, stamp pad. But I don't have that, I just have black. So, but I went ahead and left how it looks there, like I didn't redo it. Because I thought I would probably just make a mess. And I kind of like the subtle green of it. It looks a little bit like ivy, sort of climbing behind the books. So, there we go. Oh, I'm adding a few. These are stickers that came with the subscription book. Or subscription box. Is these stickers. And they're okay. Okay, let's do a final flip through of the whole thing. Then I'm done. So, here we go. I've not filled this part out. I don't know. It seems silly to say this book belongs to... I know it belongs to me, and I don't know. Anyway, I skipped that page. I might put my name in there. We'll see. Got these cute guys here, and some ink got on him. This, yeah, that was from the stamp. I gotta let these dry. But I think this turned out good. I really like this bee. And let's see, I did use this one here. But you know, I printed out like a lot of these, and I still have those left. I can use them throughout the year. You know, I'll just glue them on somewhere. There, these are smeared. Of course they are. Got this here. I've got this bookmark here. It's got these two bookmarks. Of course, they always have two bookmarks. And I assume I'll need to go to the index sometimes. I might get tabs for these, like put together some tabs or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how often I need to like turn. Now, I really like these deckled edges. Now, this could be an issue, though, if you like your washi tape to go right to the edge and then trim it or something, because, or even if it's just to the edge and not have any edge sticking out, because it's not a clean edge, you know. But I think it looks really cool. And here, like I was saying, I'm gonna color these in as I go along throughout the year. These got smeared. Wish I'd let them dry. I guess that's the problem, is even when my stamps like came out clear, a lot of times I didn't let them dry. These ones dried though. And yeah, and I put this here just because I liked it, but if I read more than this, I guess I'll move on to this. I didn't think to print out anything for like any movie themed or TV show themed stuff. And here, I don't know what I'm going to do with this space. It was just kind of left over and I didn't want to like start the next page on here. So it could be more space to write down books, or it could just be like, I don't know, random, like, here's some books I heard about that I want to listen to or read or whatever. Shows. Love shows. I love TV. I love, I don't know, just episodic serial stuff. Sometimes, like with a movie, it feels like a big commitment to sit down and watch it. Not just the time, but I feel like it's a big emotional commitment where you're like, you know it's going to be intense and then it's going to be done. And you're not going to see these characters again. And you, like, there's benefits to that, but also I just kind of want like a slow, like, here's my characters, I'm getting to know them, and I can keep them forever. Yeah, I'm so happy with how this one turned out. So pretty. I thought about coloring the butterflies, but I decided to leave them. I think they're fine how they are, and I really love how this turned out. I wish it wasn't smeared, obviously. That's something I gotta work on. But I think the orange there looks really good. And movies. Now, the fact that I have rating here, I mean, I don't really watch movies that I would rate badly, you know what I mean? Like, if you can usually tell if you're going to hate something. And if I did hate it, I would probably just not watch it. So I don't know if I will be including, like, DNFs in these. Like, I don't know. And, like, with books and stuff, it's like, well, I'm really not going to put in the work if I don't like it. So I don't even know if I would mention the ones that I'm like, eh. Oh, this turned out beautiful. Podcast. Like I said, I'm not sure how I want to, like, I'll probably put down, like, I don't know, if I was listening to something a lot, or if I found, like, a new podcast that I wanted to, like, write down, I'll put that here. And again, I mean, everything's probably going to be, like, 4 or 5 stars, because why would I put down something that I was like, ugh, you know? Why would I be listening to that? Games. Games is different because I will probably try more games. I guess games, it's harder to know if you're going to like it or not. Or, like, sometimes you like the gameplay, but then the writing is terrible, or vice versa. And there's so many different types of games. And some games are just stupid, mindless matching games, and I will play for, like, 1,000 hours. And it's just a dumb game, but I'm like, yep, 5 stars, I love it. And then there's something else that somebody's put, like, so much work into, and it's just like, no. I mean, I play more than just stupid, dumb, mindless games. And I usually listen to stuff while I'm doing it, or watch shows or something, so it's not like I'm just sitting here focused for that long. I mean, I'm focusing on other things. You know what I mean. And is that it? Oh, that's it! Here we are. Now this turned out great. Into the Unknown. And this, I think, I really love this. I love this look. This just kind of like, this would be a drawing, like an illustration, like in a book or something. And it has a real, I don't know, storybook adventure quality. And then here is like a dip pen. So, like, are they writing the book in this picture? Are they making notes? We don't know. Maybe they are designing the book and they're writing the, because you can see these drop caps here. So, I can't remember what they're called now. But the, you know, the medieval letters that are big. The drop caps. I can't think what those are called. I was studying them for a bit. Now I can't even remember. Anyway, I love these. I want more stamps like that. And yeah, just love this whole November aesthetic. Now, that's it. I don't have anything else here. I did print out, you know, matching ones like this for each month. And I will be using those. I have a few things that I want to add to here. We finished watching Legends, DC's Legends of Tomorrow. It's our 3rd watch through. It's just so good. So heartbreaking when it's over. And I mean, you know, if it had to end on like an unfinished cliffhanger, I'm okay with where it ended. But like, and I kind of like when things don't really wrap up, but you know, it was supposed to go on and it didn't. And the world is a worse place for it. So anyway, I want to put that in here. And I'll probably do like a collage or something for that. And I've got a couple of books that I finished reading. And those probably be smaller. I don't know. I don't feel like I have a lot to say about books necessarily, like when I finish them. But maybe I do. I don't know. I feel like I'm more of a like first impressions. Like, oh, here's this book I'm reading. And then by the time I finish it, I feel like I don't have anything to say. But who knows? So anyway, that is my new reading journal that I will be using for the rest of this year and next year, and we'll see how long it lasts. Maybe I'll be consuming so much media that I'll have to just go through a bunch of these. Who knows? Maybe I need more journals than I think I do, is what I'm hoping, but probably not. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you want to see more like this, or see me painting random stuff and doing arts and crafts, hit subscribe. I would love to have you here. So, that's it for today, and I will see you next time on The Cluttered Corner.